Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make baked spaghetti. So on the table, as you can see, some of the items we have: ricotta cheese, tomato sauce, eggs, onions, and ground beef, and spaghetti noodles. Depending on what's your meat preference, you can swap out the ground beef for ground turkey, ground pork, ground veal, any ground meat that you like. If I'm being super honest, I personally like this recipe made with ground turkey. All we had today was ground beef, so we're going to use that. The first thing I want you to do is to brown your ground beef and your onions together. This is the onion. My mother's going to brown the onions, and I can do this, but it's easier to do it when my mom's doing it. I actually can reach my stove, just in case you're wondering. But to make this fast and quick, my mom's gonna brown the onion, and she has better knife skills than I do, so I leave the chopping up to her. And we have the water boiling for the pasta as well. So you want to brown your onions first before adding your choice of meat. And our choice of meat today is ground turkey.
No, ground beef.
Is ground beef. I prefer ground turkey, but everybody else in my family prefers ground beef. So that's what we're using. I will eat this even though I prefer ground turkey, but it is okay. So you want to brown your onions for about 5 minutes, or until they're a color that you like. So it usually takes about 5 minutes.
Because they're gonna cook anyway while you're cooking and browning the meat.
Yep, you cook them with the meat so they can get as much flavor as possible. As you can see, the ground beef just went in.
Still hard a little bit.
And you want to break it up with a spatula or a wooden spoon, depending on the utensil you choose to use. We like a metal spatula around here. You can just see my mom's breaking up the meat. We like to wear gloves in the kitchen.
Yes.
It's a lot easier than having to wash your hands every 5 minutes or so, because you can touch meat.
Pepper.
So we're using a little bit of pepper for the seasoning, garlic powder, salt.
We got garlic powder.
Today we don't have garlic powder, but we usually use garlic powder.
A little bit of salt.
So we're going to use some salt.
And some Old Bay.
And Old Bay. If you have seasoned salt, use that instead of regular salt. It tastes better in our opinions.
And that's it.
And that's all the seasoning you need for your beef and onions, or the meat of your choice. You want to keep your flame on medium high, but I've come to learn everybody's stove is a little bit different as well. So if you have to adjust your heat as you go, do so the meat does not burn. And you want to make sure your meat is completely brown. You don't want to see any pink in your meat. And stir it so it doesn't stick to the pan, because sometimes we don't like to cook with oil because the meat usually has enough fat in it that we drain off once it's completely brown. So we don't always cook with oil, which is perfectly fine. If you have a less fattier meat and you choose to use oil, that is okay as well. But ground beef is pretty fatty, so we're just gonna let that brown.
Come out. I'm gonna have to drain it.
Okay, so the ground beef is almost brown. My mother is just going to drain it.
Then I'll put the sauce in. Make sure my water is boiling. It's
That's
almost
the pasta
boiling.
pot.
Alright, now you just hold this and you get as much. See, look.
She's over here draining. I had to pick up the camera.
See?
They can see. You can see all the steam. We just drain off the excess fat. We don't like the excess fat.
And that make your meat greasy when you put it in the pan. So now, while the meat is all brown,
add your tomato sauce.
You add your sauce.
And the brand that we prefer is Ragu.
Shake it up real good. And this is traditional flavor.
Yes, it is the traditional flavor.
Then you pour it in.
She's pouring it in.
And you stir.
And this is how we really cook in our everyday lives. I tell her what to do and she does it. Or sometimes I do it all myself.
Yes. I'm only doing this part and cook the pasta. She doing the rest.
Yes. She's only cooking the meat. And
and I'm going to cook the
garlic bread that we're going to
After that, I'm going to take a break. And ready to eat when they get done. All this ain't here. You want me to save time?
Pour some water in so you can get the rest of it out.
That much? You want me to pour the rest of it in there? Or save this a little bit?
Pour it in there. I like it saucy.
Yeah, me too.
I like my spaghetti or lasagna saucy, so you want to make sure the jar.
Save this a little bit right here.
Because you might need it if it gets a little bit too dry.
Now we just let this
Let this simmer until it bubbles.
And it's not bubbling all the way around.
It has to bubble all the way around the pan before you pull it off.
Right, and we just let that sit for a second. Go to your pot.
Pasta over here.
And we're
using Tortella spaghetti.
Mexican, French, Italian. Y'all know what I mean.
You can use gluten-free pasta if you are gluten-free.
And usually I do, but I didn't.
Usually I try to eat as gluten-free as possible. Sometimes.
Oh, and I broke my spaghetti in half.
Yes, my mother likes her spaghetti broken.
It seems like you get more and it cooks better.
You want to stir your pasta pot so it doesn't stick. And do not add oil to your pasta.
No.
Because I've seen people do that and they claim it helps your pasta not stick. But your sauce will not stick to your pasta if you add oil to the pasta pot while it's boiling.
Alright, you want me to turn this off?
Yes, now my mother's going to turn the meat sauce off.
I'm going to put it in a bowl.
Show what it look like, Mom. So this is your
sauce.
Lift it up some. This is your sauce. It's nice and saucy.
Yes.
She's just going to put it in a bowl for me.
Yep.
And we have to wait about 7 minutes for the pasta to finish. You do not want to cook your pasta all the way because it's going to go in the oven. So you want your pasta to be undercooked so when you stick it in the oven, it does not overcook.
There you go.
So guys, we're back now, or I'm back. My mother has done her part by mixing and cooking the meat and onions. So I'm going to do my part as in assembling and putting it together. But we're going to start off with the ricotta. People in my family don't like ricotta, but they like the way I make it. There's a few secret ingredients to my ricotta. As I was saying, people in my family don't like ricotta, but it is necessary for the creaminess factor of this baked spaghetti. So we're only going to do about 1/4 cup of ricotta. Then we're going to add 1 egg. Y'all, if y'all know me, I don't really like the way eggs feel in my hands. So I use gloves. And we are also going to take a spoonful of the meat, or a tablespoon, however you like to say it, and add that to the ricotta. Just a spoonful. And I'm going to mix it in with the ricotta. That gives it the meat flavor. Or you can just use your tomato sauce, whatever you like. But I know this is about to get real controversial, but we like a little bit of sugar in our lasagna and spaghetti and in our ricotta. It takes out the tanginess, so we just add a little bit of sugar. And please don't come for me in the comment section, because I know how y'all feel about sugar. And you want to add a little bit of your cheese blend of your choice. But I can't reach the cheese. Now you might think this might not be enough, but I will add more ricotta as I go. But I have to be careful, because like I said, my family doesn't like it, but they like the way I make it, so I'm the only one that's allowed to touch ricotta. So I'm just going to take a handful of this 4 cheese blend. You can use any cheese you like, but we always go for 4 cheese. This 4 cheese has Monterey Jack, cheddar, quesadilla cheese, and Asiago cheeses. Now that I have done that, I'm going to take some spaghetti, which is still hot. So we're just going to give the spaghetti a minute to cool down. And this is what your ricotta mixture is going to look like. I said I will add more ricotta as if needed, but you do not want to rinse your pasta, even though that does make it cool down fast. But our pasta is still steaming, so I will be back when the pasta is not steaming. So yeah, so now we're just gonna add the pasta.
Is this empty?
We're gonna add the pasta to this mixture. It is still a little bit hot, and you want to stir this with this. And as you can see, as it's stirring, we're stirring, it's getting a little bit creamier. And you want to continue to add your pasta, but you want to stir it because this is still hot. And you want it to be creamy. And you don't want your pasta to be dry, because if it is dry, it will burn in the oven.
And
yeah.
This is it.
That's fine. That's all.
We'll just put a little bit. I'm going to use and save it a little bit for later, just in case. You want some more ricotta in, or this is enough?
As my mother is stirring, I'm checking to see if it's creamy enough. Because if it's not creamy enough, then I will have to add more ricotta, and I will just flavor it so my family won't get mad at me.
What you think? Look at this.
It is not creamy enough.
No, you're gonna need some more of that. Maybe,
See,
I don't know, see?
It's not.
Okay, well come on.
As you can see, it is not creamy enough. So
just put a little bit in it.
So I'm just gonna take the spoon here, add a little bit more. My mother's going to stir. And we're just checking for creaminess.
That's creamy. Ooh,
now,
that look good.
Now that it is creamy, I don't need any more ricotta.
Put the top on.
So,
no, and it's all in the bottom.
And you can see all the creaminess possible. And as you can see, my mama is stirring, and you hear that sound where it sounds squishy. That's how you know it's creamy.
There you go, babe.
And I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot sauce because we like things a little bit spicy around here. So that you don't have to add the hot sauce, but we like it spicy. And it's not even gonna be that spicy.
Mom, we need a little more dab.
See, my mother's telling me to add more because we like it spicy.
It's good for you.
Yes, the spiciness is good. Now, my mother and I cook together all the time, so this is fun for us.
Alright, what you want me to do now? Oh, I'm the racer now. You can do the rest.
I know.
Alright.
Now I'm having my mother move this out of the way for me.
Okay. You want me to dump this out?
Mm-hmm. And we're going to switch pans to our baking pan.
I had more meat than noodles. Last time we had more noodles than meat. We're not doing that.
Mm-hmm. So, as you can see, we're going to put our baking pan here.
Leave it on 375?
Mm-hmm. I have the oven preheating to 375.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
So, I'm just going to take some meat and put this in the bottom. You want to put the meat on the bottom because you don't want your noodles to stick. So I'm just taking little spoonfuls of the meat. It's actually on the other side of me. So if you see my arm getting away, that's because the meat is on the other side. And you want to cover the bottom as much as you can. But what I also do is, since my hands have gloves on, I will spread this out. And remember that leftover spaghetti sauce? I'm going to put that on the bottom as well. So I just put a little. So I just took a little bit of the meat, and my mother's going to bring me the leftover spaghetti sauce. That's why we added the extra water to the spaghetti sauce jar to save it for the bottom of the pan so our noodles don't dry out.
Let me see, yeah. Did you put them up? Yeah. And then you just
now
pour it all there.
we just pour in the rest of the spaghetti sauce, and that's going to make sure our noodles on the bottom stay nice and moist, like so. Now you're just going to take a handful of noodles, put these in the bottom, across the bottom, like so. Doesn't have to be perfect, just cover the bottom. And always have a good kitchen partner with you to make this process go a lot faster. A little bit more.
Spread it out. And this was a whole box of noodles. Mom, why not you high? I just want to get meat.
Now you have your first layer. I'm going to sprinkle some of this cheese blend across there, like so. Now that's your second layer. Now you're going to take some of the meat and put this on top of the cheese.
Hold on, my darling. You know what? I'll hold it.
My mama's going to hold the pan because it's a little heavy for me.
Alright, let me do it like this. Give me that.
You want to do that.
And now, you can spread it out.
Now I'm just going to take my hand and push and spray it and push it out to get in all the corners. Like so. And then go across the bottom.
I'm spreading it out and you spreading it out.
So that should be enough meat.
For that layer, I only got one more layer.
So the next layer, you're going to go back with your pasta.
Wait a minute.
A little bit of your pasta.
I don't want a whole lot. This should be enough.
And you see these noodles are creamy. Got the corn over here.
Spread that out right there in the middle. You got that right there. Spread it all the way out. Make it go all the way over. Because you don't need a whole lot. You don't want a whole lot of noodles and no meat. Alright, when you need, that's it. This is it for the noodles. See? Just put a little bit right there and cover that.
Now, you got all your noodles. You're going to take the rest of your meat.
And we're going to put it in there.
Put it on top.
You ready?
Put the rest of your meat on top.
Get it all out of here. Yeah. We're going to double this pan so when you lift it, it won't be so loose. Now, take your meat and then you go and just spread it apart. See how much meat is there this time? Let me help you out.
So my mother's gonna do the rest of spreading. We like teamwork around here.
Yeah, and it's only me and her, and this gonna be gone. Cause soon as y'all see the video, somebody's gonna call and ask for some.
Luckily, I won't post this on social media.
Tell them all.
Till the video come out.
And it be gone.
It's gonna be gone cause my phone gonna be ringing off. Ringing off the hook. This happens every time.
Next we gotta do our pineapple, famous pineapple upside down.
We already did.
You're famous. Oh, you did? I need another one. Alright, there you go, Mo. See, that's all over.
Now, last step. Sprinkle your cheese. The rest of your cheese.
I'm not doing no more. Let me go rinse your pan out. So you can put this gonna be under the bottom so you can get 2 pans. So when you lift it, don't bend, right?
My microphone.
My bad.
Now just sprinkle your cheese all over top. Now, the reason why I can't post this anywhere is because by the time it get done and I post it, my brothers, my nephew, their significant others, all the cousins, my mama boyfriend, everybody in my family gonna be at my door. And y'all will not get to see a taste test because none of them wants to be on camera. So I will be upset that y'all won't get to see a taste test because none of them won't be on camera, which I'm okay with them not being on camera, but they at least, there's a new rule in the family. If I'm cooking food and I'm filming it for the YouTube fam, you gotta at least let them see the taste test. So, and plus, you just want to keep shaking and spread the cheese in all corners. Now, you're going to put this pan in the oven, which unfortunately I cannot do, but that's why I have my mother, because it's too heavy for me. You're going to put this pan in the oven on 375 for 10 minutes. Cover.
I gotta cover it first.
Cover it with some lemon foil. Then after that 10 minutes, this is what it looks like before you stick it in the oven. You're gonna cover the top with lemon foil for 10 minutes.
Right back.
Then after 10 minutes, take it off and cook it for at least 15 minutes or until the cheese on the top is buttery and brown. In total, this should take about 25 minutes, but everybody's oven is a little bit different, so it might be different for you. But you at least want to cook it 10 minutes with the lemon foil on top, so your beautiful cheese on top does not burn. And you can make this for a crowd. This will feed me and my mother for like leftovers. And of course, when my brothers see this on Facebook, they gonna come get some. So this thing is only gonna last about maybe 48 hours, 2 days in my house, depending on who's gonna come. But I'm telling you, as soon as this is posted, Somebody come.
Alright, we ready?
Now my mother's gonna stick this in the oven for 10 minutes on 375 with it covered with aluminum foil. And I'll be back after the 10-minute mark to show you what that looks like.
Light, enough light, no.
So this is what it looks like 10 minutes after you take the foil off. Now we're going to stick it back in the oven for 15 minutes uncovered. And remember, this is on 375.
Be back.
Yes, we will. This is what it looks like when it's done. My mom is going to cut it and plate it up for you guys. See, look at all the glorious cheese.
Oh man,
It's falling apart. You can wait till it cools off a little bit to cut into it, but
I'm hungry. Look at that. Look at that. You want more than that?
So this is what it looks like as it come out. It'll settle as you let it cool, but like my mama said,
I'm hungry. I ain't got time.
She hungry, so she cut it. But you do want to at least wait till it cool down before you cut into it.
Then you can cut it evenly.
It'll hold together.
But I'm going to hold it right in my big old stomach.
But this is what it looks like.
Alright, now. God, we thank you. Right now. Delicioso. Bye.